Hello lovely people, welcome back to the farm at Freewarden, where we raise sheep, pigs, chickens, ducks, geese, quail, and for the time being rabbits, but I think they're going to be going. We'll talk about all that and a lot more as we do our little walk about the farm here, like I like to do every once in a while. So it's kind of a tour, it's kind of a talk. We call it a walkabout, and we walk about and we talk about the farm. So we're starting out right up here by the house at the garden, and Mrs. Freewarden has this beautiful, we'll call it the summer squash arch. And I love this thing. I built this out of a cattle panel and a couple of stakes, and it is heavy. Woo. See that? Just a little bounce there. It is heavy. I can feel the weight of the squash here growing. We've got one back here. Let's see if you can see that beauty. So we've got a squash right there. Underneath, of course, we've got some marigold planted. It's always a good thing to have in your garden. It pairs well with a vegetable garden, keeping away unwanted pests and such. Now all of this, these are all the wood shavings from planing the boards that we used for the egg stand. So we put those to good use, recycling them back into the garden, and I'm sure that they'll keep weeds down. They'll also turn into good rich soil. But one thing you got to keep in mind is when you're using wood shavings, wood chips, or wood mulch, they leach a ton of nitrogen. They leach a lot more nitrogen from your garden, from the soil, than anything else that you'd use. They take a lot longer to break down as mulch, so they're going to constantly be leaching nitrogen from your garden. So you just got to keep that in mind and add a lot more fertilizer than you normally would. We've got our dill, we've got our chives, we've got some oregano and some thyme and some mint in there. Just give you a little look at the herb garden there. Carrots, nasturtium, that's the flowers, and they taste like pepper. We've got, what are these, zinnia? I'm not sure. I think they're zinnia. And then citronella right here to keep away mosquitoes. Moving right along then, we'll come to the chickens. One of the jobs that our animals do for us on the farm is taking care of pests. So all of our chickens, ducks, geese, and our turkeys. I forgot to mention we raise turkeys here now too. It's only 6 this year, but that'll be enough for us for Thanksgiving, maybe a family and a friend or two. We'll see how things go with the turkeys. We might keep 2 or more for breeding purposes for next year, see if we can breed our own, but I don't know. Our chickens go after the manure and the insects laid in the manure. They tear apart the manure, spreading that, and they go after pests. So they eat a lot of flies and mosquitoes and locusts and all sorts of insects that are not beneficial for our land necessarily, and can even potentially cause harm to our animals. Our Muscovies, they'll go after ticks and all sorts of things. We've had a big tick problem here, and that brings me to the job that our sheep do here. We try to work cooperating with nature as much as we can to accomplish what we want to accomplish here on the farm. And that means trying to harness the power of the little machines that run on grass and other things that we can grow here on the farm, to harness that power to do work that would otherwise take hundreds to thousands of dollars worth of machinery and fuel and time and labor. And so one of the reasons that I have sheep, and that I will always have sheep as far as I can tell you right now, will most likely always have sheep on a farm, any farm that I own, is that they take care of a little nasty disease called Lyme's disease. Also, cows and goats do this as well. Basically any ruminant can do this for you, even deer. So one thing that a lot of people may not realize but is very important if you're concerned about Lyme's disease, is that any ruminant that's bit by a tick that's infected with Lyme's, that tick basically gets cured of its Lyme's. Something in a ruminant's blood actually destroys Lyme's disease, the infection in a tick, and so then it cannot transmit the Lyme's to other people or anything else. So, hey there. Alright, I just gotta make sure that none of them come up and try to headbutt me in the kidneys. But they've all decided to come around and surround me. This is kind of weird. They don't normally do this. A tick climbs up on one of my sheep here. It's infected with Lyme's disease. It begins to feast on the sheep's blood. The blood goes into the tick system, and as that blood begins to mix around with the Lyme's disease, it neutralizes and kills it. Or it causes it to become... Hey, stop nibbling. You're pinching me. You're pinching me. Sheep don't have top teeth, so they can't actually bite and hurt you, but it pinches a little. So that Lyme's disease is then neutralized, killed, left inert, incapable of infecting anything. I don't know exactly what happens to it, but I just know that if a tick infected with Lyme's ever were to ingest the blood of a ruminant animal, whether that's sheep, goat, a cow, a buffalo, antelope, any of these animals that have a multi-chambered stomach that eat their food and chew it more than once, that's going to kill the Lyme's disease. Really fascinating little tip there. And so, one of the reasons I'm going to keep sheep on my property is to basically hopefully render any potential Lyme's disease inert and incapable of infecting us. But my sheep do way, way more than just kill off Lyme's disease and make it a little safer for us to be wandering out in the property like this. Something that our sheep do for us that's really cool is they prune back little trees, they get rid of weeds, they kill off vining plants like this plant here. This was a plant that was going to grow this year and grow a seed pod, and it was going to spread itself here, growing more vines next year and basically trying to kill off our trees. That's not what it's trying to do, but our trees are full of these vines though. And the reason is because last year I didn't have the sheep in here, and so they weren't back in here eating anything, and these vines actually killed off more of our trees that were back here. So as you can see, I've got this tree here, which I believe last year was alive and now is dead. And you can see up in there, the vines. Those are wild cucumber vines, and they grow very quickly. However, if you notice something down around here, this is the bottom of one of those vines. It doesn't go all the way to the ground because the sheep ate it. They killed it before it could grow anymore and fully cover that tree. And so what that's going to do is, well, if we had them in here last year, it may have saved the tree. But what that's going to do for our other trees is it's going to protect them and keep them from becoming killed off by the vines. And they are doing a fantastic job. Now, as you look, you can see our thicket floor. They've trampled down the grass, they've eaten up the weeds, whereas before you were walking through here and you were having to push stuff aside or step over weeds, step around stuff to get through here. Now we can walk through it again with ease. And the vines that were threatening to cover our trees are gone. They ate them. Rather than me having to go back in here and spend hours and hours cleaning this up throughout the year, all I have to do Let's take a few minutes to set up a temporary fence paddock and then send our sheep in there to do the job that I don't want to do. Gotta keep these pigs nice and cool, especially on a hot day like today. See the sweat just glistening. Yeah, it's a nice hot day. I'm just sitting here. I've not been doing any hard work, and I got a nice little film of sweat all over me. But pigs, these guys can't sweat. So we got to build them wallows, and that also gives them another source of water to drink, because of course they got to stick their snoot in it and drink it, and they like to just lay in it and cool off. It's the only way for them to cool off. And you see he's breathing nice and gently there. He's not breathing real heavy. Yeah, mama pig is there. Mama pig there isn't too hot. She's coming to wallow before it gets too hot, so she's smart. This is how we grow chicken on grass. And I'll show you these little cuties because I do think they're cute. I do like to eat cute things. I never get, I don't understand why people think if you think something's cute, you can't eat it. I think they're adorable and I want to eat them all. But look at these little guys. Growing big and happy and strong. And we've got them all on 100% certified organic feed. It's a thing of beauty. And they are just eating as much as they can, living it up on the grass, getting big and strong. This is our other flock here, so we've got about 45 of these birds in each. Yeah, they're hot though today. It's a warm day for sure. So we got to keep them in water. Make sure that they have plenty of water today. Which is why that's exactly why we came out here with this hose to refill their 5-gallon buckets. Cool them off a little bit. They look really hot. They don't like it, but it's good for them. Gets them cooled off really quick. There y'all go. A little cool, refreshing shower for you. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for joining me on this walk and this talk about the farm. We're gonna keep doing what we do here. I gotta get back to work. As always, there's something to do. Always something to do. And everything takes longer than it takes, as my mom likes to say. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Hug somebody. God bless. Everything is gonna be okay. Peace.